So, Prof, are you very optimistic that your dream to owning your own country, that is the Yoruba nation, will one day come to pass?
It will come to pass.
Well,
It will come to pass. Nobody can stop it.
Why do you think so? Is there any constitutional backing to your planned secession?
Courts in Nigeria have made the statement that fighting for self-determination is not unlawful in Nigeria. So we are not doing anything unlawful.
yes, sir.
And we have no reason to want to stop it.
Do you think Tinubu will give you the approval you are looking for? What if he restructures Nigeria?
No, self-determination is the answer, not restructuring. Why? Because when you restructure, you are still in Nigeria. The people who are coming and disrupting your life and destroying your farms and killing your women and raping your mothers and daughters and so on are still Nigerians. They still have a right to come to Nigeria. The only final solution to that is to separate so that you have a separate Yoruba country where we can make our own laws and so on, to which we admit only people we want to admit.
So, guys, this is one of the leaders who are fighting to own their own country called the Yoruba Nation. And he was on an interview session on Arise Television. Let me allow you to listen to the detailed information that he has passed across to the Nigerian people. Take a look at this.
But Prof, are you very optimistic that one day this vision of self-determination for the people of Yoruba land will come to pass?
It will come to pass.
Well,
It will come to pass. Nobody can stop it.
what is the difference between the bigger ideological movement that you lead and, the one led by Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola? Could it just be that the difference is just method? Isn't the idea the same?
Well, they are not the same. We started a movement for the liberation of the Yoruba nation from Nigeria under existing laws of the international community. People don't seem to recognize that. There is a law, the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, permits every nation that wants to separate from the country that they belong to now to do so. But you have to do it peacefully. That's a provision. You cannot say because you want self-determination for your nation out of a country, you want to destabilize the country, you want to break down the peace of the country, you want to attack the laws of the country. No, that's not allowed. The movement that I lead is an intellectually sophisticated movement, disciplined, and no member, not a single person in the entire movement, and we are in the millions all over the world. We are in the millions. Not a single one of us will do what Mrs. Abiola did, what Onitiri did. Not a single one of us. She and her people were entirely on their own. They are not part of us, and we are not part of them in any way. Our struggle for self-determination has been pursued peacefully. We started in 2019, and this is 2024. That's roughly 5 years now, slightly under 5 years, and we have no record of violence. In the year 2021, in the middle of 2021, we launched a number of rallies, public rallies. The first one was in Ibadan, and it was very large. About 1.2 million people were present in that rally. And we thought, we had done well. But then we moved to Abeokuta, and people in Abeokuta were much larger in number than the ones in Ibadan. And we went to Osogbo, and from there went to Akure, and went to Ado-Ekiti. In Ado-Ekiti, the crowd was the largest ever. about 3.1 million people clogged the streets of Ado-Ekiti for the whole day. And in all of these mammoth rallies, nobody misbehaved. Nobody behaved in an unruly or unlawful way.
Are the arrested 21 suspects named as those behind Saturday's invasion by Yoruba Nation separatists of the Oyo State seat of power, housing the governor's office and the State House of Assembly. Armed and clothed in military camouflage, these agitators allegedly hoisted their flag, Yoruba Nation flag, in place of the Nigerian flag at the said location, an action that has sent shockwaves across the nation. The police describes last Saturday's invasion as a security breach while urging parents and guardians to warn their wards against being used by unpatriotic individuals to promote anarchy in the land. A summary of recorded arms from the suspects include one English pump action, 2 locally made barrel guns, 2 security jackets, generating sets and gas cylinders, among other items. Some of the suspects spoke with Arise News on the allegations.
Come again.
Can you give us some more news? That's the leader.
Sir,
the world leader.
On that Saturday, what do you people went there for? Is it a declaration?
To celebrate, to rejoice, to celebrate the new nation that was born.
But you went there with armed.
Please do not rope, do not say what we did not do. We did not go with any ammunition, we did not go with any weapon. Please, I stand to be corrected. We did not go there. All this uniform you see me wearing, they just gave it to me here now. They just gave it to me here now. The police just gave it to me now, by force, by force. It was not my own.
We saw some videos on that day. That some of you wore this same.
Some of us. Did you see me there?
I wouldn't know because I wasn't there.
No. I was not part of the people that wear the uniform.
Where were you arrested?
In the front of the secretariat, the state secretariat.
What's your station? Okay, sir, please, you said
I'll just take it one after the other place. Made us to go there was what they tell us.
The police didn't have to caution anybody. The police did not arrest anybody. Nobody was wounded in any way. It was a happy rally.
Well, Prof.
Young people, educated young people clamoring for their own country separate from Nigeria. That's entirely lawful.
Well, Prof, there is a report.
Entirely under the law.
Prof, there is a report in the paper.
And so nobody was arrested. And nobody can be arrested in such circumstances.
Well, Prof, there's a story in the papers today.
That's who we are.
Well, Prof, there's a story in the papers today saying that you, as a leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, you have now written to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to say that Yorubas would like to break away from Nigeria through negotiations. Do you think that President Tinubu will allow his government to sit at a table with some Yoruba people saying they want to break away from Nigeria when Section 2 of the Constitution says that Nigeria is indissoluble and indivisible?
That's what the Constitution of Nigeria says. But the law of Nigeria also, part of the law of Nigeria says that self-determination is a legitimate right.
Well,
because when the United Nations passed the declaration, Nigeria was a signatory to it. Nigeria brought the law, that declaration, to the National Assembly. The National Assembly approved it, and the President of Nigeria signed it. That made it part of the law of Nigeria. The same thing with the Africa Charter of human and people's rights.
But Prof, sir.
The President of Nigeria brought it to Nigeria, took it to the National Assembly. The National Assembly approved of it. Then the President signed it. That makes it a part of the law of Nigeria. And courts in Nigeria have made the statement that fighting for self-determination is not unlawful in Nigeria. So we are not doing anything unlawful.
Yes, sir.
And we have no reason to want to stop it.
Same Nigerian constitution says that even when we sign international covenants and conventions, it becomes law in Nigeria when it is domesticated. Now, you are an Awoist. You were part of the Awo movement and all of that. Awo, the late sage, wanted self-determination in the Constitution, 1916, 1963. He never succeeded. And the Nigerian Constitution does not allow anybody to say they want to break away from any part of Nigeria. So I don't know. I mean, you are the teacher of history.
The law, the laws of Nigeria allows individual Nigerians or groups of Nigerians to advocate for self-determination for their people. That cannot be contradicted. The laws of Nigeria allows peoples in Nigeria to advocate for the self-determination of their people.
Well, I'm just
that's the law.
Well, but
that's why when we went on rallies and so on, nobody could arrest any one of those boys and girls.
Well, but
because they were acting entirely lawfully.
Okay, Prof.
No, listen, there is in this kind of situation after the folly and the criminal folly by Onitiri and the others, there is a natural reaction, and people are now saying that Nigeria are now saying things that are really not true about Nigeria. The laws of Nigeria allow Nigerians to fight for the self-determination of their people peacefully.
Well, I'll try and check.
And Yoruba people who are fighting peacefully for the self-determination of the Yoruba nation from Nigeria are doing it absolutely lawfully.
But do you have any expectation that President Tinubu will sit down and negotiate for the Yorubas to leave Nigeria when he is himself a Yoruba man? That is the business of the president. He will do what he thinks is good for the country. We will do what we think is good for our own nation from Nigeria. And nobody is disputing the fact that we Yoruba are being destroyed in Nigeria. Last night, only this last night, crowds of young people called me from somewhere in Oyo State that Fulani people had invaded their village and had scattered the whole place. We cannot continue to live like that. If anybody thinks that a people like the Yoruba people will continue to live like that, you are deceiving yourself. You may pander to the Constitution. You may pander to the authorities of the land. But you cannot twist the truth out of existence. That's the thing. You cannot say you do not know that the Yoruba people are under pressure in Nigeria. You cannot say that Yoruba people are not being killed and killed in Nigeria. You cannot say that that a group of young men did an estimation of how many Yoruba people have been killed. They think it's up to about 29,000. You cannot put that way. So why are some people behaving as if you're pandering to the government and pandering to the government, to the authorities? Negates the rights of other people. It doesn't. Well, no matter how much you pander, you can't tell me, oh, is President Tinubu going to sit with us and so on? It's his duty to sit with us. That's his duty. Well, the law says so. Well, we write a letter to the president. It is his duty to answer us. And he can say, no, what you are asking for, I won't grant it. But he has no right to say, he has no duty to tell us, I will not answer your letter. But sir, he has a duty to answer our letter. You raised these same issues under the Buhari administration. President Buhari did not just ignore. Yes. He went after Sunday Igboho and he showed that his government would not allow any kind of challenge from anybody, whether Yoruba or Igbo. Why would President Tinubu listen to you, even when you said you were not interested in the election? The president can say that as much as they like.
but the president cannot unilaterally change the law of the land. That's the truth. The president, it is the duty of the president to say, oh, this country, I will preserve its unity. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that does not negate the lawful right of the people of Yoruba land or whatever part of Nigeria to seek for their self-determination.
But Prof, there seems to be some confusion
among
the Yoruba elites.
We don't quarrel with the president for saying nobody should want to break up Nigeria. So it's fine. That's what the president is supposed to be saying. But we who know what is happening to our people, who think that the answer is to get out of Nigeria, we have a right to put it to the president and to put it to the world. That's all.
But there seems to be some confusion in Yoruba land. I see that maybe perhaps the generality of the people do not feel as passionate about self-determination. And secondly, there is all kinds of positions. Afenifere is talking about restructuring. You are talking about self-determination.
You don't know this. You don't know the nature of the Yoruba society. You don't. Most of the young people, and they are the majority in Yoruba land, want the self-determination of their Yoruba nation. That's the truth of the matter. That's what is keeping the movement going. And they are also doing so in the diaspora. Yoruba young men and women all over the world want their own country, separate from Nigeria. You cannot deny that. No matter how much you want to pander to the government, you cannot deny that. But that's the truth.
But anyway,
the important thing, however, and I'm surprised that you are not talking about that, is that the Yoruba people who are fighting for self-determination are telling the world and telling themselves that they will do it only peacefully. We are Yoruba. We know our status in the world. We know our status in the black world. We do not want to destroy the peace of Nigeria, and we do not want to bring difficulty into the lives of any other group in Nigeria. But we want to get out of Nigeria. That's it.
Well, Prof, you were a strong member.
And you're not talking about that. You are asking me questions. You are asking me questions as if what Onitiri did has the support of the majority of Yoruba people who want self-determination. It is not true.
Well, Prof,
she has a small minority of a section that is ready to do illegalities. A year ago, they went and attacked a radio station in Ibadan, and so on. Now this year, they are attacking the entire government of Ibadan, and so on. No, but we have never sent anybody to go and do that, and we do not support it or encourage it.
Prof,
and we think it is criminal.
Prof,
and so if they get punished for their criminality, we have no objection to that.
Prof, you were a strong member.
You cannot, because of them, generalize opposition to self-determination. You cannot.
Well, Prof, you were a strong member of the Unity Party of Nigeria, also a very strong member of Afenifere. Afenifere is talking about restructuring. You are now talking about self-determination. What is the difference, in these two ideological positions?
Our fathers in Afenifere are doing the right thing, talking about restructuring, so that we can go back and live our own life the way we used to live it prosperously. They're doing the right thing. There is nothing wrong with that. But we, another group of people, larger in number than they, are now saying, no, self-determination is the answer, not restructuring. Why? Because when you restructure, you are still in Nigeria. The people who are coming and disrupting your life and destroying your farms and killing your women and raping your mothers and daughters and so on are still Nigerians. They still have a right to come to Nigeria. The only final solution to that is to separate, so that you have a separate Yoruba country where we can make our own laws and so on, where to which we admit only people we want to admit. So nobody can claim that they have a right to come to our land. They don't have such a. But as long as we are in Nigeria, no matter what restructuring is done, they still have the right to come to our land and do the things that we are doing. Nobody is talking about the fact that most Yoruba farmers have been driven from their farms. I am not hearing that. I'm hearing only about government. I'm not hearing about people. You are not talking about the fact that most Yoruba farmers have been driven from their farms, and that the Yoruba nation is in danger of famine upon famine upon famine for years and years to come. You are not talking of the fact that the Fulani declared war on Nigeria on the 24th of January and 26th of January and said that Tinubu is not our president. We are going to Aso Rock. We will take over the seat of government there, and we will use this place to organize the conquest of the rest of Nigeria. You're not talking about that. You are not talking of people who said, no Fulani man must be arrested for the bomb in Ibadan. If you do, you will have bombs in every town in Yoruba, in Nigeria. Nobody is talking about that. Nobody is talking about the sheer insult of living in a country where some people are treating the government like that. You are talking about Onitiri and so on. Why do our...
Well, Prof, let me ask you this. Self-determination that you recommend...
You are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion, but what I'm saying is that your opinion rigorously avoids the truth. Rigorously.
But Prof...
avoids the truth.
Nigeria, as Onigo Tite told us in his research on ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, has over 300 ethnic nationalities. Will you recommend self-determination to all the other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria? For all these nationalities to break away?
Those who want it don't ask me a general question. I'm asking for self-determination for a nation, the Yoruba nation. There are about 60 million people in Nigeria, and their territory is large enough to be a large country. So that's what I'm talking about. Any other nationality in Nigeria that wants self-determination is free to ask for it. I cannot come and ask for self-determination for nations that are not mine. No.
Well, Prof, as we have this, we're having this conversation. You are in Cotonou, Republic of Benin. Not too long ago, after Chief Sunday Igboho returned to Nigeria, one of your spokespersons, Mr. Gani Alagbaka, I think, said that Professor Akintoye will also be coming home very soon. How soon, Prof?
Yes, I'm coming home. It's my prerogative in life to decide how I move. Yeah.
Certainly.
That's my right.
But are you very...
Or would you want, because of your support for Nigeria, also limit my right to move as I like?
But Prof, are you very optimistic that one day this vision of self-determination for the people of Yoruba land will come to pass?
It will come to pass.
Well,
it will come to pass. Nobody can stop it.
Well, on that note, I would like to thank you very much.
And we are not hostile to any government. We were not hostile to Buhari. We were not hostile to Buhari. So why should we be hostile to our own man who is president? He's our boy. It's our son. It's our brother. So we cannot be hostile to him. We were not hostile to Buhari. We sent a message to Buhari. Buhari told his people that election was coming. He didn't have time to answer us. And so they didn't answer us. All right. But elections are not coming now. And we want the president of Nigeria to discuss with us. President Buhari stood up in the United Nations General Assembly in 2016 and 2017 and said, self-determination is the legitimate right, the inalienable right of every nation in the world. He said that. He even said at some point, it is immoral for anybody to forcefully deny self-determination to any people. So people ask him, what about the people, the indigenous people of Biafra who are asking for their nation? He said, if the people who are asking for Biafra would do it peacefully through a peaceful organization, then the Nigerian state will have no other option than to discuss with them, to negotiate with them. Wow. Oh, yeah. People don't know these things, or people refuse to know these things because they want to appear to be supporting the government. This is not a question of supporting or we are not. We in the Yoruba self-determination movement, we are not opposed to Nigeria. We are to Nigerian government. We don't oppose our people who are ruling us. No, but we think the time has come when a nation like the Yoruba must take its freedom and create its own kind of country, where our people can live the way we used to live under Chief Obafemi Awolowo. That's what our people want. They don't, we don't hate anybody. We are not, even the Fulani who are coming and killing us, it's very difficult to get Yoruba people to hate them. You cannot preach hatred of another nation to Yoruba people. You cannot. It doesn't happen. It is not in their blood. So they don't hate the Fulani, they don't hate their Igbo, they don't hate outside, they don't hate anybody. They just want to get out and go and live their own life the way they know how to live it.
So guys, you can see the seriousness in this prof. He said there is no going back, that Yoruba nation is a must. Even if Buhari refused to listen to them, Tinubu has to call them to the round table. Tinubu has to listen to them, that there is no going back in this fight. That Tinubu must not just restructure Nigeria, but must allow them be on their own. So guys, I don't know what you think about all this. So many people are not feeling satisfied being Nigerians. People want to go their separate ways, but we all know that united, we are stronger. United, we are bigger. United, we can do greater things. But because of mismanagement of the population of Nigeria, some people feel marginalized and they prefer going their own separate ways. You have listened to this prof, you've seen his own take. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.